Welcome to Episode 1. If you haven't seen the introduction yet, we recommend clicking the I symbol in the top right corner to watch it first.
Yan pili lilontomo lili. Supa lape. En supa monsi. En supa pali. En supa lipu. En poki lensuli. Lilontomo. Sitalen. Lilonsin pintomo. Lipona tawalukin. Ilolinya pi kalamamusi, lilon supa lape. Ilosona, lilon supa pali, li suli mute. Yan pili, li yan pi kamasona, lon tomo sona suli. Yan mute, pi kamasona, li lape lon tomo lape suli. Tomo lili, pi yan pili, li lon tomo lape suli. Tomo lisin, li pona tawa lukin. Taso tomo li lili, li yaki. Kalamanasa, li kamalontomo, kalamanasa, en sunonasa. Semelilon? Pokisu li nasa li kama, lon in satomo, ona li kamatan ala. Semelilon, nili seme.
Tokipona uses only 14 letters, 9 consonants, and 5 vowels. There are no F words in Tokipona, literally. So names like Philip needs to be Tokiponized. I'll put a link in the description to a page explaining the Tokiponization guidelines. In general, the idea is to keep the Tokipona version of a name as close to the original as possible within the rules of the language. We usually also try to preserve the number of syllables. In our case, Philip Nakamura becomes
Pili Nakamula.
And to indicate that it is a name of a person, we typically precede it with yan. Also note that in Tokipona, stress is always on the first syllable, so Nakamura becomes
Nakamula.
With fewer than 150 basic words, modifiers play an important role in refining meaning. We use modifiers when a basic word by itself isn't enough to accurately express what we mean. Here is an example.
Supa
Is a general word for all kinds of surfaces. To tell the difference between surfaces in Philip's room, we add modifiers. That gives us
Supa lape.
a surface for sleeping on, like a bed.
Supa monsi.
A surface for supporting your back, like a chair.
Supa pali.
A surface for working on, like a working desk.
Supa lipu.
A surface for holding books, like a bookshelf. You can add more than one modifier to a basic word. Each modifier builds on the full phrase that comes before it. Here's an example.
Poki.
Means a container or a box.
Pokilen.
Is a container related to clothes. It might be a wardrobe, but it could also be a pocket.
Pokilen suli.
The word
Suli.
indicates that the container is big. Together with the visual context, it becomes clear that altogether the word refers to the wardrobe in Philip's room. Here is another one.
Tomo.
Is a structure.
Tomo lape.
Is a structure used for sleeping. We typically connect it to a bedroom, but it can also refer to a hotel. Compare this to
Tomo lape suli.
here, the added modifier, together with the visual context, leads us to the student dorms at the university. When expressing ideas in Tokipona, always remember, what seems clear to you might not be clear to your listener, so be sure to provide all the context they need in order to understand you. Sometimes you want to add a group of words as a single modifier, not just one word at a time. In that case, you need to use the word P. Consider the following example.
Ilolinia.
Is a tool that uses strings, for example, a painting brush. But what about this?
Ilolinia pi kalamamusi.
Here we're modifying the first part with a combination of two words,
Kalamamusi.
playful sound, or simply music. Altogether, it gives us a tool that uses strings to create music, like a violin or a guitar. P is important because without it, each word is treated as a separate, independent modifier that can completely change the meaning of the phrase. Let's look at an example.
Kasi.
Means plant.
Casicule.
Is a colorful plant, typically refers to a flower.
Casicule tu.
Simply means two flowers. Let's see how things change when we use P. In this case,
Cule tu.
is treated as a single idea, two colors, and it modifies kasi as a group. This can refer to plants that stand out for having two distinct colors, like the Double Delight rose, which has a beautiful combination of red and yellow. So remember, use P when you want to group two or more words into one combined modifier. Make sure to place all single-word modifiers before the word P, and try to avoid using more than one P in the same phrase. We will see examples of how to go around that in later episodes. But now, let's watch the video again. Pay close attention to how modifiers are used throughout the episode.
Yan pili lilon tomo lili. Supa lape. En supa monsi. En supa pali. En supa lipu. En poki lensuli. Lilon tomo. Sita len. Lilon sin pintomo. Lipona tawalukin. Ilo linya, pi kalamamusi, lilon supa lape. Ilo sona, lilon supa pali, li suli mute. Yan pili, li yan pi kamasona, lon tomo sona suli. Yan mute, pi kamasona, li lape lon tomo lape suli. Tomo lili, pi yan pili, li lon tomo lape suli. Tomo lisin, li pona tawa lukin. Taso tomo li lili, li yaki. Kalamanasa, li kamalon tomo, kalamanasa, en sunonasa. Semelilon? Pokisu li nasa li kama, lon in sa tomo, ona li kamatan ala. Semelilon, nili seme.